Welcome back. It's season 3. Beyond Business. Come ride with me. Nick Freno in the house, sharing stories that inspire. From every walk of life, we're lighting that fire. Lessons learned, journeys shared, good vibes and laughs, we're fully prepared. Brought to you by Buick Real Estate. Let's dive deep, it's gonna be great. From the ups and downs, we rise and grind. Every guest has a tale, every tale is a find. Exploring the wisdom that life has to give. Together we grow, that's how we live. Lessons learned, journeys shared, good vibes and laughs, we're fully prepared. Brought to you by Buick Real Estate. Let's dive deep, it's gonna be great. So grab a seat, don't miss the ride. Beyond Business with Nick, let's take it in stride. Join the conversation, let's make it last. With stories and insights, we're having a blast.
Hey, listeners, before we kick off today's episode, I want to take a moment to highlight our incredible Season 3 sponsor, Buick Commercial Real Estate. If you're in the market for commercial properties in Central Illinois, look no further than Buick Commercial Real Estate. With a dedicated team led by Tim Buick and Cole Babcock, they bring unparalleled expertise and a deep understanding of the local market to meet your commercial real estate needs. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest, Tim and Cole are committed to providing personalized service and guidance every step of the way. Their passion for helping clients navigate the complexities of commercial real estate sets them apart in the industry. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level or find that perfect commercial space, reach out to Buick Commercial Real Estate. You can find them on all social media platforms at BuickRealEstate.com, or you can reach out by telephone at 217-450-8500. Trust me, you'll be in great hands. Thank you to Tim and Cole for your unwavering support of the show. Hey, everyone, if you're in the market for custom apparel, stop ordering from Custom Ink and listen to this. Look no further than Oakwood Screen Printing. This apparel company specializes in all things apparel, offering high-quality designs on everything from T-shirts to hoodies to hats to joggers to jackets to towels to bags to wall art to mugs to tumblers to stickers, you name it. Whether you're promoting your business, celebrating a special event, or just want to express your unique style, Oakwood Screen Printing has you covered. What sets them apart is their attention to detail and commitment to customer satisfaction. And here's the deal. If you use promo code BB217, BB for Beyond Business 217 at checkout or in store, you'll get an additional 15% off your order. That's right. So no matter where you're at in the world, you get online, you decide what you want, and you can order anything, any quality, any shape, any size, literally. And they'll ship it to you, 15% off, competitive pricing with any other thing you could find. So let's go. Get online, oakwoodscreenprint.com. Get your 15% off. Use code BB217. If you want to make a statement with your apparel, reach out today. You won't be disappointed. Hey, everyone. If you're looking to transform your home with a fresh coat of paint or need some handiwork done, look no further than Clean Cut Painting and Handyman. This incredible local company specializes in both interior and exterior painting, and they bring a unique touch to every project. What sets them apart is their women-centric approach, because they truly believe that a woman's eye for detail and design is invaluable. From basement remodels to floor replacements and accent walls, Clean Cut Painting and Handyman is your go-to for all home improvement needs. Their team is not just proficient, but also professional, ensuring that every job is done just right. So if you want to elevate your space, reach out to Clean Cut Painting and Handyman today. You'll be amazed at what they can do. They operate out of both Decatur and Springfield. You can find them on all social media platforms, or you can hit them up online at cleancutservice.com. Okay. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining me on Beyond Business Audio and Video Podcast. This is season 3, which is brought to you by Buick Commercial Real Estate, and episode 4 brought to you by Clean Cut Painting and Oakwood Screen Printing. If you are a viewer rather than just a listener, then you will see that we are not in the studio. Well, you will soon see why, because joining me today is a young man originally from Decatur, Illinois, who has currently been serving our country in the United States Navy for 7 years. He is a navigation electronics technician for Submarine Group 7 in Yokosuka, Japan. It is an honor to welcome Chief Petty Officer Brade Blibrey. I'd like to start by saying thank you for joining me, and thank you for serving as a contributor to protecting the greatest country on the planet, the United States of America. It is an absolute pleasure to meet you, and let's do this.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, for sure. What time is it on that side of the globe, man?
It's just crested 10 o'clock here, so just starting to wake up on a Saturday morning and have my coffee.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we just it is the weekend, man. It's just like it's Friday night. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So okay. So I want to go back. So you've been there 7 years. So when did you where'd you go to high school?
So I went to high school at Eisenhower. It was my mom's alma mater, kind of, ended up going there. We moved around town a little bit, but my grandma always stayed in that school district. So to keep me going to school with all my friends, I ended up going to Eisenhower.
Okay. And you graduated what year?
2017.
So was it like were you a good student? Like,
Oh, no,
college?
no.
I didn't know. I mean, did you get like a recruiter sucked you in, or you were just like, fuck college, or what made you choose military, I guess is what?
Yeah.
Fuck work, or what made that?
So I was kind of a shithead growing up, at least until, let's say, freshman year, pretty much. Thought I knew how the world worked, and obviously, every kid that thinks that doesn't really know how the world works.
Got in trouble, like shithead to your parents, or got in trouble with the law, or what? What kind of shithead?
Kind of a little bit of everything. So I got into some trouble with the law back in middle school. It was a whole ordeal, a drawn out court case. Ended up lasting about a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
Ended up having all the case dismissed ultimately, but that was kind of what got me on a straighter path of like
little eye opener.
Yeah, you got to be a decent human to function in society. So I kind of just started to operate a little bit more low key after that. But school wise, I think I'm kind of like the prime example. If you ask any of my old teachers or my mom, is a prime example of like wasted potential in school, really. So I got a job when I was 16. I think a lot of it was initially fueled because my mom had me pretty young, and I saw how she was just grinding to get money. So I was like, this is kind of the way. And I didn't really like to ask for much. She gave me everything I needed, and she would have gave me whatever I asked for, but I didn't like to ask for much. So got a job as soon as I was of age, and started to see that money come in, and quickly was like, yeah, man, school isn't the thing right now. Like I can go to school for a couple hours, or I can go to school till lunch and dip out and go work. So I started doing that. And I was playing sports and stuff at the time, and I kind of dropped sports and all that to continue working.
What kind of job?
I worked at World of Power Sports, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was working in their like back warehouse. Basically, we just they're a parts dealership as well, right? So they have all these contracts through all the companies that manufacture recreational vehicles, so they can they can buy all the parts and sell them. They can get wholesale parts. So we were buying the parts basically, and then selling them to people who don't have
Oh, so you were able to
dealership
actually make a
access.
little bit of money. I mean,
Yeah,
you were
yeah, I was
for a kid, you were making some money.
yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah,
winter and
yeah.
summer break, I was working, 40-hour weeks, sometimes a little overtime, depending on how busy we were. So I was putting
Nice.
putting some good money in the bank account as a young kid, and that kind of probably probably gave a little boost to my confirmation bias at the time that I was doing the right thing and doing what
Right.
was good for me. But basically, we get to junior year, and I was kind of just like, yeah, man, I don't think college is probably the right move for me. I'm kind of still in the mood to hang out with my friends and shit. So I know if I go to college, I'm probably just gonna blow money away, and it's really not an option to go to college if you're not super serious about it for our generation because it's so expensive now. So I was like, yeah,
And
college.
what do you mean by serious about it?
I
Like
mean, like
have a plan afterwards?
yeah, like
Right.
I'm going to college, I'm going to take these courses at college, working towards this major. Here's my like 5-year plan after I get out, so I
Right.
know exactly like what my career path's going to look like, which then lets you kind of create a
Right.
plan to pay off that debt. And so I didn't
Right.
have any of that because I knew if I went to college with the party scenes at most,
Right.
colleges, especially in Illinois, we have a lot of good party schools, sadly, and I probably wouldn't have been able to afford out-of-state tuition. I was like, yeah, college is off the table. I originally was going
Right.
to go for culinary arts,
Oh yeah.
and
Good trade.
yeah, and the thing that kind of swayed me from that is I talked to some chefs, and they were like, yeah, dude, like I hate cooking with
Right.
a passion. The kitchen's awful, and growing up in the Midwest, that's kind of like those family meals are kind of a staple of the day. I
Right.
love cooking for the family, so I was like, I never want to lose that passion and that kind of aspect of me. So that was my one plan for college, and it kind of backfired. So after that, I was like, yeah, college is off the table. What can I do
Right.
now? I started looking around. I was like, okay, making minimum wage or minimum wage plus a little bit is not an option for me. Uh, there are some decent jobs in Decatur, but then I looked around. I was like, yeah, like Decatur's kind of a trap sometimes. Like if you get stuck in the blue collar work field of Decatur, you either have to like have lucky breakthroughs and grind your ass off for 15, 20 years until you can maybe have a small business and kind of run shit on your own and make, pad the pockets a little bit, or you just get stuck in the rigmarole of factory work and have to deal with potentially getting laid off and all that shit. So I was like, I don't want to get stuck in Decatur and just go through the same cycle that generations have gone through since Decatur
Right.
opened up all the factories in the 70s and started to decline in the 90s and 2000s. So I was like, all right, that's off the table too. What can I do now? And I started looking at the military because the Army was doing like the ASVAB, which is the entrance exam at our school. So like, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. Went and took the ASVAB, got a pretty good score, and then the Army started to just go crazy about me. Like every day they me and all that. And at the time, I didn't really like uh, being that high profile. Didn't like how much attention they were giving me. I was like, it's one of those if it sounds too good to be true, it is type thing. So I was
Right.
like, yeah, fuck these guys. This is some shady shit they got going on. So, and
Yeah,
then
you
one day
guys
I was
do not want me to be all I can be. Something's fucking tricking me here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then one day I think I was walking to the Army recruiter. This is when we still had a recruiter in Decatur. We don't have one there anymore. But
They didn't try to throw you cash or anything like that, right?
no, it's just more like jobs. Like, oh, you can be this, this, this. Like your
Oh yeah,
score
yeah, yeah.
qualifies for everything in the
Oh,
Army.
right,
Blah blah blah
right.
blah.
Top notch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Just gassing me up really. And I was like, I don't know, I don't know. I'll go meet with them and stuff. And like I said, like my second or third meeting, I was walking to their office, and we still had the Navy recruiter in town. I walked past their office. There's like two guys in there, and they were throwing popcorn into each other's mouths, and they hadn't tried to contact me once. And I was like, okay, maybe these are my people. So I just walked in there, and that's kind of all she wrote. It was a little bit of a journey after that. So I had some waivers that I had to write because of my legal troubles, and then the job that I auto qualified.
Even as a juvenile, or it
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
yeah, it's still there. Yeah.
yeah. Because well, so they make you do a questionnaire to ask you everything. And
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
those things where I was pretty naive. I didn't know how expunged records work and all that. So I was
Right.
like,
Right.
I'm going to disclose this because it's not
So
really
how
that
old
big of a
were I mean,
deal.
were you 18 or 7? How old were you? when you went
This
in the
time,
military, or
uh,
or whenever this process started, I guess.
so at this time I'm 17.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I guess yeah, maybe 17, because I think that would have been my senior year. So yeah,
Yeah.
freshly 17.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then I auto qualified for nuke, which is this thing that we have in the Navy. Basically, they're the people who work on the reactors on carriers and on submarines as well. And basically, as we get closer and closer to the timeline of me leaving, start to solidify my contract. Like I said, we already had to wait a while for all these waivers for my legal stuff. They were like, "Hey, boss, bad news. Like, we just got your transcripts back. You didn't do too hot in math and science your whole time at school." And like, what's up with that? I was like, yeah, man, I didn't try. They're like, yeah, dude, that's another waiver. That's gonna take like 6 months. By this time, we were maybe a month away from graduation, so late spring. I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work, dude. 6 months ain't gonna work. I need to get the fuck out of town. And they were like, all right, we got
Oh,
these
this is
other
the
jobs.
military. This is the military telling you you're not.
Yeah,
Oh,
because they have all these waivers. There's requirements for every job. Typically, they're just like the standard ASVAB requirements, which are just like the score, the
right.
the specialty that you can fall in. But for more high profile jobs, you have to be able to pass a security clearance. You have to be able to have like X, Y, or Z on your transcript. There's certain jobs where you have to have like associate's degree if you're going to be like a paralegalman or something, an LN
Right.
is what we call them. So based on my
And you're
transcripts, I would have,
securing a job before you even leave?
yeah, yeah. Like you sign the contract. It's a little bit different for submarines, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. But yeah,
Okay.
you sign the contract. You sign it's a rate. Your rate is like your job field. But you sign your rate before you leave, or you sign
I mean,
undes.
at 18, you're signing the job you're going to have before you ever even leave to be in the Navy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have
And
no
that's
idea what this job really even is. You just know what the fuck's eventually going to be happening.
yeah, nothing. And
That's some shit.
it's even worse. It's even worse for like
That's
nukes.
crazy.
Yeah, it's even worse for nukes and submariners because like no one knows what we fucking do because the nukes, they don't go to recruiting duty on shore duty ever. So you never have someone who was a prior nuke, so they never really are able to tell you, the full scope of things. And then submariners, we typically work jobs in our field for shore duty as well, so they typically don't go recruiting either. So basically, it's the blind leading the blind right now. I don't know what's going on. These guys who are telling me what I need to do don't know what's going on. All I know is that my initial contract that was written up for nuke is going to take 6 more months. And I'm like, no. So they're like, all right, well, we got this one thing. It's called AECF, which is like Aviation's Electronics Computer Field. And I was like, cool, man, sounds good. I get to work with computers and electronics. That's awesome. So get all that shit squared away. Go to MEPS and everything, which is like where they do all the physical testing for you. Just waiting to ship, basically. I get a call like maybe 2-3 weeks before I'm supposed to ship, and they're like, "Hey, boss, bad news. We had that one billet for ACF. It got taken." So the way that the Navy does recruiting is it prioritizes like first special ops, so SEALs, SWIC, shit like that, and then females. And then after that, it's everyone else, and nukes. But then after that, the first fill that they will get for every rate is a female. So a female had basically came and said she wanted to be ACF. That's a priority fill for them. So they filled her in that billet and basically took my billet away. So like, yeah, boss, bad news. We don't know when we're getting this shit back. That's all she wrote, dude. You just gotta wait, or you gotta choose another job. And I was like, waiting's not a fucking option, bro. We've already went over this. They're like, well, how you feel about submarines? I was like, what would I be doing? They're like, it's SECF, so it's submarine electronics computer field. Same job, different fucking platform. I was like, cool, sign me up. I was in boot camp like a week and a half later. Come to find out, they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. It's not the same at all. But
But you're like, I didn't know what I was gonna do the first fucking time. So
yeah. And this is where I'm getting into. You don't really know what job you're signing up for if you go SECF, which is the submarine route. So SECF is comprised at the time by 4 jobs. So it was, I guess it would have been 5. It was sonar technicians, fire control technicians, uh, information technicians, which basically just work on the computer network, radio men, and then us, navigation electronics technicians. We call ourselves NaviTs. So it's made up of those 5 jobs. And basically, whenever you go to boot camp and you've selected that whole field, the orders that you get for school, they just randomly assign you what's called an NEC, which is a educational code, I think. And basically, that just chooses your job for you. So you just like number in a hat, get your job chosen for you while you're in boot camp out of those 5 jobs for submarines. And I ended up drawing navigation electronics technician. So we go through boot camp and everything, which is about 2 months long. Shipped out to Connecticut for school after that. And there I am.
And it sounds like, I mean, how much schooling? Because it sounds like you got a pretty fucking high tech job if you're a radio technician in a submarine. I mean, this isn't something that you can just, it's not a quick course.
Yeah, so it kind of all
It's not
varies.
a quick study. Fuck.
Yeah, and it's changed even since then, so I can't speak to really what it is right now. I got some buddies
And real
over there.
quick, how many people have thought they were going to do this and got in a submarine and realized there's no fucking way I can be in a submarine for any length of time in real life?
Quite a bit, actually. So whenever you show up,
I would be one of them.
yeah, whenever you show up to school, the first thing you go through is called BES, and that's Basic Enlisted Submarine School, and it's basically teaching you, how to wipe your ass on a submarine. It's Intro to Submarining 101, and you get a qual card whenever you get there, a qualification card, which is basically to go do all of these things around base. So you have to like qualify all these watches so you can support the base. You have to do all these things in class, but one of them is you have to do all these submarine tours. So you have like 5 tours you have to do, and it's basically to get you to go out, walk down to the waterfront because we had submarines on base in Groton, Connecticut. And you go down there and you have to talk to the people that are on duty and have them show you around. So that's like intro number 1 of like how to like filter out people who aren't meant for it,
Right. Do they have like a submarine, like a fake simulation submarine, or it's like, no, you go to a fucking submarine and you get it?
Yeah, dude, you go to a submarine. We're all about to be submariners. So and it's
like
fucking
Hollywood, motherfucker.
Yeah,
We're going
dude,
to the water.
It's fucking crazy, man. Like you go from being, if you join at high school, you go from being like a 17-year-old one day to 2 months later.
That's all I'm picturing. That's why
Yeah,
I'm asking these stupid ass questions. Is I'm
you
like,
just end
no,
up walking down,
8 months ago, you were at your fucking mom's house, and now you're
just
in
walking
the
down
bottom
to
of
a
the ocean some fucking way.
walking down to a submarine saying, "Let me on." So yeah, you go down. You have to go through five submarines or whatever the arbitrary number is now, and basically that's to test if you're claustrophobic initially. So
And
once
did you know until then?
I went down, I was like, "This is the shit."
Okay, you were like,
Yeah,
no
this is
problem
dope.
here.
Yeah, they're in port. You don't actually go underwater on them.
So you don't even understand it. Like when you see other people react, you're like, "Oh, sucks to be you, bro," because I don't know what the fuck's going on with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't understand it to this day. Like I've racked my brain about it because I work. My job now is uh, is a multi-community job, so we don't just have submariners at my current command. And like talking to all of them, they're like, "You guys are fucking crazy, bro." You're like, "No, you're fucking crazy, bro. What are you talking about? You're sitting on a fucking tin can on the top of the ocean. You're insane." So it's hard to fathom, It's just I don't know.
So
It's just
do you ever get in or do they even exist? Is there any like actually like small submarines, or are they all pretty big?
They're all pretty big. Yeah, they're all pretty big. So we have 3 classes of submarines. Well, 3 designators of submarines, if you will. So we have SSNs, SSBNs, and SSGNs. SSBNs and SSGNs, they're the same type of boat. They're all Ohio class submarines. One was just outfitted to have Tomahawks on it, and the other ones have ballistic missiles. But the SSNs, they're either a Los Angeles class, a Virginia class, or a Seawolf class. They're all pretty comparable in size. Just barely over 300 feet long, so you're like 330 nominally between all 3 classes, about 35 to 42 feet wide, and the same amount tall. So they're all pretty comparable.
And so, how often do you is there, you go this often and for this long? I mean, are they like tours, or I mean, how do you?
Yeah. So it's a tour basically. So the boats on the waterfront, they're in cooperation with the schoolhouse, and they kind of know the things that they have to show you. So you go down and you talk to their duty chief, which
I
is
mean,
like
like, but
the
do you every once in a while go for 2 months, and or you no
oh
longer, or how's that work?
yeah. So for submarines, we have it's called a hard seashore rotation. So whenever you go to your first boat in our field, you have to do 48 months. So you get assigned to your first submarine, you do 48 months on it, and
48
not
months of what?
just being assigned to it, and you have to do everything it does. So it's kind of the luck of the draw, and each class has different op tempo. So if you get assigned to an SSBN, we have a very regulated schedule. The boat stays at sea almost 10 months a year, but it has two crews, unlike all the other submarines. So like I got assigned to a BN, an SSBN. That was my boat. So I was on the gold crew. So basically, you'd show up uh, and work in the office for 3 months while the other crew has it out to sea. And then they'd come back and they'd be in port for anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks. And in those, we'll call it a month, you exchange all your programs, you audit the other people's maintenance programs, every program they have, and then you collectively, as both crews, repair the ship, get it ready to go out to sea, load it up with stores, and then our crew would take it over from them since they just had it at sea, and then we go out to sea for 3 months or 4 months, somewhere
And
around
then,
there, and then it cycles.
yeah.
But fast boats, they have I call fast boats, those are SSNs. Fast boats have a little bit more volatile schedule, and it kind of depends on where you're home ported at. So the nominal deployment for a fast boat about 6 to 8 months, depending on
But
where
that's
you're home
still
ported.
4 months, 6 months, 8 months. That's a long time.
Yeah, man, you get some fucking sea time in. On my first boat,
Yeah.
it was
Do
a
you ever
weird scenario on
come
my
up?
first
Do you
boat.
ever pop up and go outside, or that's no, hell
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh,
So and that's class specific too. So like on a SSB, and you don't come up that often. Uh, we didn't start pulling into ports really. Like they pulled into a lot of ports back in the Cold War in the late 90s.
oh.
But after the 2000s, like SSBNs didn't pull into ports. So on my first boat, I did one underway on my boat, and then I did three underways on additional boats just because my boat was in the shipyards, and three of those or three of my four underways were all on SSBNs, and I didn't do a single port call on all of them. One of them I was at
What are you
sea for
guys
100.
doing? Just rolling around,
Yeah. So at the
patrolling
SSBN's
shit,
Yeah, the SSBN's mission is to just stay hidden
j-
the whole time. So because they
just
have
in case
nuke
some shit fucking jumps off, huh?
exactly, and then
I
an
wish you
SSN's
fuckers
different.
would. I
Yeah,
wish you would
basically.
try to do some
Yeah, and
shit.
that's what they always say. Like, your captain, he'll try to hype people up at quarters. He'll be like, "Yeah, we're out here on the front line, so that whenever X country's leader wakes up in the morning, he looks himself in the mirror, is like, I'm not fucking around today because they still got submarines at sea." So they always try to get you hyped up about that. But yeah,
Right.
basically we're sitting there for prevention. It's mutually assured destruction is what it is, and we're the most survivable leg of the nuclear triad, which is us bombers and missile silos because they can't find us. They know where bombers are, they know where silos are, so we just go out and stay hidden, man, and just fucking putt around the ocean.
That's legit. That's your job, is just in case some shit kicks off, you're there.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
fucking insane.
And then
How did I
obviously
not even think about that? I was kind of just fucking around, but yeah, that is.
yeah, and it's
So you
they
guys
find
are heavily armed. I mean, right? I mean, they're
uh kind of. So it's at sea, no. At sea, no one carries a weapon or anything.
well. Then what are you doing? Just report some shit?
Well, I'm saying we have nuclear weapons on the boat, but I'm saying like none of the crew members are armed when we're at sea.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Is your boats can fucking
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So the boats, yeah, we have
Yeah, if it goes
uh,
down, yeah, you're
a
ready.
significant amount of nuclear weapons
So you
on board
say
while we're at sea.
undetected, like submarines can't be detected? Is that because is that so other countries also have submarines though, right?
Yeah, so submarines can be detected. You can track other submarines. Our
Is it
job as a our job as SSBNs is to try to not ever be detected so that they don't know where we're at. Right? Because
okay?
if they know where we're at, and let's say tomorrow's the day they want to go fuck some shit up. Today they're gonna go if they know where we're at, they're gonna go to our submarines and fucking kill them. So that
Oh
tomorrow
yeah,
when they decide to pop off, they don't have those
that's the
missiles
first thing
flying
to
out of
go
the
to.
fucking ocean.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah. So our job is literally just to stay hidden in case some shit pops off, and then that mission set changes based on what other designator you have. So if you're an SSN, a fast boat, you're doing different missions. If you're SSGN, you're doing different missions.
and so it's safe to assume that a lot of countries in the world have the equivalent of the same thing in the oceans, trying to
Uh,
fucking do the same thing, and we're monitoring that shit, making sure we can. I wish you
it,
would their ass too,
it's
but they're
really
just
only
not as good.
it's really only three other countries.
Well, right, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah. One of them is an ally, but
right,
yeah, there's only three other countries that have like true SSBN capabilities. Uh, and a lot of that is due large in part because of there's a lot of entries to barrier to doing it right. Like you have the Star Treaty, and for instance, where like there's a nuclear arms agreement. You have all of the precursor shit that leads up to it. You have to be able to have a true SSB and that can remain undetected, you have to have nuclear submarines. Okay, well, what do you need to have nuclear submarines? Well, you have to be able to build nuclear reactors in your
right,
country, and
right.
then on top of that, you'd have to be able to have the proper programs to obtain and enrich and make weapons grade,
Yeah,
nuclear material. So there's a lot of barriers to entry on what stops other countries from having SSBNs.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. They're not just floating around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right,
So
right.
d- don't be
So
too afraid, America.
yeah, right, right, right. Yeah, we're the power. We got the power. Um, so 7 years. I have to assume it. No, I guess I can't assume. Is this a career?
I don't know yet. So
Yeah. I mean, is this just a
I
second go round, or are you? Or I don't know. I don't even know how long. I thought they were 4 years, and then I knew people who did 3 years, and then went back for three, and then I knew people did four and went back for four. So I don't know how it works.
yeah. So going to a submarine in our field, you have to sign a 5-year contract
Okay.
like immediately. So when I joined the Navy, immediately I'm doing 5 years. I think our minimum on submarines is four. But then there's certain like rates in the Navy, like in the surface fleet and shit, that can get away with doing three, kind of like the Army. I know they can sign like 3-year contracts or whatever. But my entry was five, so I was like, all right, yeah, I'm already kind of in. Like, I got one foot in the door already to the decision I'm making. And then once I finished my boat, like I said, we were in the shipyard. Shipyard's an awful place. It's a horrible place. So I was like, I need a fucking break, and I want to break on the Navy's dime and to do something cool in relation to my job. And the Japan orders came up, and I was like, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to Japan. Uh, whenever on the submarine force, whenever you go to shore duty, you have the option to do this thing that we call obliserve, which is obligated service. And that basically says, like, hey, if you guys continue to pay me submarine pay, which typically you only get when you're attached to a submarine, uh, I'll do 18 months after my shore duty on another boat. So I signed my obliserve contract, which extended my normal contract 18 more months. I reenlisted once while I was on the boat, so for like 6 years, but really only four of it counted. So basically, at the time of reenlistment and then signing the obliserve, I had 5.5 years left that I owe. So three of that was going to be eaten up on or here on shore duty, and then the last 18 months basically was going to be on another submarine. I actually got moved from my shore duty early, so I'm leaving Japan here in like 15 days actually to go to my next submarine. And then once I'm there, I'm gonna decide. So I have almost exhausted how much vertical movement I can do in the enlisted field. So I'm starting to apply for officer programs now. And if I don't get picked up for those, then it's going to be, a lengthy discussion with my wife on, what are we doing? What's our next play together? But until then, I'm just trying to keep an open mind.
So the answer is you can either re-enlist or not currently.
Yeah. So I'm
time-wise, you're not. Yeah. And
Yeah.
your wife is in the service also?
Nope.
Oh, so you can do whatever you want, and it's
Yeah. So it's basically just
you say you're going to another submarine.
Yep.
And how long you got to be there?
My orders say 36 months. So right now I will only have 18 months on my contract when I get there. But if I re-enlist or anything, then I'll be doing the rest of that 36-month tenure.
Yeah.
So, and it'll probably end up being longer than that, to be honest.
Right.
I'll probably end up doing 4 years on that boat.
Yeah, you're young, dude. I mean,
yeah, man.
I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah, that's
what
why
you know what you're doing. So
that's why the officer stuff is coming up now, because the officers, they make so much more base pay, and your retirement in the Navy is based off of base pay. So basically, I'm on the legacy retirement system, which is if you do 20 and you get out at 20, you immediately get 50% of your yearly salary paid in installments, 24 installments per year, a biweekly paycheck. So the officer route's very, very tempting because they make so much more base pay, and that's what the retirement's based off of. It'd be dumb not to. And then any year you do after that, it adds like 5% basically. You can max out at 30 years. Yeah, you can max out at 30 years and get 75% of your salary up front.
At some
I'm
point,
probably not.
But I'm saying at some point it'd be like you said, it's dumb not to just get the money, man. I mean,
Yeah. So my hard cutoff I've set for myself in the past is like once I do over 10 years, like that's all she wrote. I'm already halfway to retirement, and you're losing money at that point. Now I'll go ahead.
I want to take a moment to highlight our incredible Season 3 sponsor, Viewig Commercial Real Estate. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest, Tim and Cole are committed to providing personalized service and guidance every step of the way. Their passion for helping clients navigate the complexities of commercial real estate sets them apart in the industry. You can find them on all social media platforms at viewigrealestate.com or give them a call at 450-8500. Trust me, you'll be in great hands. And a special thank you to Tim and Cole for your unwavering support of the show. Hey everyone, if you're looking to transform your home with a fresh coat of paint or need some handiwork done, look no further than Clean Cut Painting and Handyman. From basement remodels to floor replacements and accent walls, Clean Cut Painting and Handyman is your go-to for all home improvement needs. So if you want to elevate your space, reach out to Clean Cut Painting and Handyman today. You'll be amazed at what they can do. And you can find them on all social media platforms or look them up online at cleancutservice.com. If you're on the market for custom apparel, look no further than Oakwood Screen Printing. If you use promo code BB217, that's right, BB for Beyond Business 217 at checkout, you will receive an additional 15% off online or in store. Check out oakwoodscreenprinting.com for your next apparel order. No, go. You're fine.
So the counter argument to that is a lot of people in the Navy will argue if you're going to do 20, you need to do 30, and that's where my line is drawn. I think that doing an additional 10 years for an additional 25% is the juice isn't worth the squeeze for me. So if I do stay in, it'll be for 20 years. Yeah, it'll be 20 years. And then you can get out and work another job for another 20 years. And if I retire from another job after I get out of the Navy, I'll only be like,
That's when you get out and start a company. You know what I mean? That's when you get out. That's when you actually fucking, So do you know Jeff Wisnat?
No. Nope.
Okay, he is my age, and when he turned 38, he retired from the fucking Navy with
Yeah.
his wife that retired from the fucking Navy. So at our 20-year reunion, they both had been retired for 2 years, had owned fucking 40 acres in Minnesota. This guy, shout out fucking Jeff. This dude
Yeah.
they were doing it, dude. I mean, we were just stoners in high school and same shit. He was like, decisions had to be made, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I went to jail. These fucks were landscaping and shit. And nobody was doing anything. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to go to the fucking military. And
Yeah.
made a career out of it. And yeah, 20 years later, he's like, oh, I'm done. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
It's so tempting. And,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where like some of the
But
that's kind of where some of the counter argument goes, like that. A lot of people think it's predatory, and I think maybe there's room for argument for that because you have young, impoverished males and females in the United States that it sounds like a get rich quick scheme,
yeah, but not
and
if
it
you're doing your
kind of
job
is.
and doing it well, though. It's different if you're
Exactly.
taking advantage of it, but not if you're doing it. You know
Certainly.
what I mean?
Certainly.
You can,
Certainly.
you can, you can say, yeah. I guess you can. I don't know. I guess if you're good at something, you're allowed to say, "Hey, I get paid good for."
Yeah.
It's different if you suck at it, but
Yeah. Yeah. No
I don't
shit.
know. I don't know. I just think again, more people should choose the route. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Certainly. Certainly.
There's a reason. Even that's where we suffer. It's a whole different scheme of things, but out here, like law enforcement, they've lowered in corrections and law enforcement and all first responders in general. They've like lowered the standards because nobody's interested anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, okay, so let's make it so the qualifications are lower and the age is lower. Like, wait, that doesn't make it better. That's not. That's not.
I
Yeah.
tell you what, it does the exact opposite, man.
Yeah.
So
Let's make less qualified people be involved. Yeah, that always works better. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, submarining was pretty hard whenever I first joined in. I'm not saying it's easy now by any means, but the culture was as close to toxic as you can get in the submarine community. There's a lot of hazing and shit back in it all started in the 80s, but it lasted until the late 2010s. So like when I first showed up to the boat, that shit whipped me into shape fast. Like you got motherfuckers who are just making you do menial tasks and just fucking with you just because and shitting on you because you don't know X, Y, and Z. But I've only been here for a day, so how would I know X, Y, and Z? I haven't even learned A yet, and you haven't taught me it.
Right.
But now it's completely different. There's a lot of frustration from the people who you can tell do give a fuck and do have the qualifications and the aptitude to do the job. And I think it's like this in every community in the Navy. So it's kind of a fine line you walk. If the Navy and the government doesn't lower those standards, do we want to risk losing these people that do care about their job because they're getting overworked? Or do we want to kind of act as a pump and not a filter? But now we have to risk losing these people because they have to pull the weight of their incompetent workers, or they have to, see someone doing 90% less than them but getting paid the same amount. It's a tricky line, man. And I don't
Yeah,
think
it
I have
is.
any recommendation on how to fix that. But that's just business in general. People don't think of the military and shit as a business, but
It is.
there's
Yeah, it
business
is.
tactics with a
Absolutely
lot of
is.
that shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, and I think that's it. Is there's not an answer. It's for the military. It's for trades. It's for a lot of things. To where it goes. Um, there's not. There's how I don't know how humanity is less qualified all of a sudden, all around the board. What the
Yeah.
fuck is that about? I mean,
Yeah. It's crazy.
just a whole generation of less qualified individuals on all spectrums. Like what?
Yeah.
You just
I don't
are
know.
in a bunch of incompetent people on all around the board. What?
Yeah.
What? But so
Yeah. I don't know.
going back to what you were saying, how you looked at which this is impressive to me, that how you weighed out your options, right? When you chose the military. And I don't know if you're able to lay it out like this because now you're grown looking back and you can lay it out like this, or if you actually thought it out at the time. But like when I was young, like college, no one even brought up that student loan debt. Like that,
Yeah.
you just had it. That's just what it was. You know what I mean? Like for
Yeah.
real, it was just like, yeah, no one even brought that shit up. I mean, I don't even know. It was later it started being a big deal. It was just like they would let your parents co-sign for it, and your parents co-signed for it because they didn't have the money. They made $80,000 a year combined.
Yeah.
And so when you got out of college, you were going to figure it out because they couldn't help you because they literally couldn't help you. You know?
Yeah. They
So
didn't have the means.
yeah, so now you had to fucking figure out that $200 a month for the rest of your life plus that apartment you just got. And then all of a sudden, yeah, it became a big deal and they said, "Hey, you file a bankruptcy." Yep, not you can't put that on there. And yeah, so everything kind of shifted. And then you guys a couple generations later got educated on it, and it's like, well, that was a big fucking hoax they did for like 20 fucking years. They were just going, "Hey, you have to go, you're done with high school, you got to go to college." You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You
Yeah.
if you don't know what you want to do, then you need to go to college and figure out what you want to do. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's the stupidest advice in the fucking world.
It's horrible. You're setting a lot
Yeah,
of people up for
yeah.
failure.
Then spend your first 2 years figuring out what you want to do in college.
Yeah.
What?
I
Spend
mean,
40,000?
I would advocate for that if there's the caveat of like, oh, if you don't know what you want to do, spend your first 2 years in like a JUCO or community
How about
college
a
or something
trade
like.
school?
Yeah, and that's even
How about go
another
learn
great
how to
option.
HVAC school and fucking figure out what you want to do? Or yeah, go to auto body school and figure out what you want to do.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, make a little bit of money while you do it.
yeah, no shit. But you know what I mean, though, is it's
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I don't
I mean,
know.
to answer your first question, I was definitely having those conversations whenever I was making this decision. Like I said, I started working real like working
But
basically
yeah,
full time pretty young.
commendable.
Yeah, and then the last money that I had injected into me was when I was 16 and I bought my car. The first car I bought had to get its head gasket replaced or some shit, right? Like right away. And I didn't have a job at the time, but I had the money to purchase the car. So my grandparents and my mother were like, "All right, we'll split the cost to get the repair, and then you pay us back." And that was like the last little bit of money injected in me. And from there, I was pretty self-sufficient, with the exception of like buying food. Like my mom paid for food at the
Yeah,
house and paid for bills. But beyond that, like anything that involved money in my life was coming from me, and I made those decisions. So I had to become an informed consumer really quick because I didn't like wasting the finite amount of money that I had. So
yeah,
I think by doing that, I kind of started to understand slightly more adult concepts, started to kick off some of that like teenage materialism that most teenagers have. Started to really like, if I'm making a purchase, all right, let's go fucking read 100 reviews on this. Let's see, like, is there warranties for it? How long is it gonna last? Like, what's it made of? Shit like that. So I started to understand things like that when I was like
you
16.
were
So
a
by the time I
consumer,
was,
bro. You became a
yeah, so
consumer. Yeah,
so by the time I was 17 or 18, having already had those kind of thoughts festering in my mind, I was like, yeah, decisions that you make as an adult are not just like, hey, I'm doing this today. Let's fucking see how it works. I was like, no, this is like big steps like this are life affecting decisions. I need to sit down and think about all of the nuances behind what I'm doing. So I sat and thought about it for a long time
right.
prior to doing it, which I think set me up for success in the military. And I think there is like the same system that is pumping kids into college is really a cultural thing. And that cultural thing can set people up for failure in the military just as easily. Like you join the military thinking like this is just a quick stepping stone when I get out of school, but you're not prepared, man. Like in
Yeah.
college in college you live in a dorm for 2 years. You're with 1,000 other people. Your parents are checking up on you. You have RAs. You have fucking professors and shit like that. Shit ain't like that in the military, bro. Like you fucking leave. You leave your
Right.
town. You're a fucking adult, dude. Like if you didn't
Right.
work and shit before, and you didn't do your own laundry, like there's literally kids who are in my division who are like, yeah, bro, like I got all this laundry piled up. I just failed my fucking room inspection. She was like, "Why you got all the laundry piled up?" Like, I don't know how to do it, dude. So it's like people join the military just thinking it's easy day, but they're not prepared to be an adult. And I think that's what has kind of led to my success in is that I did all that forethought prior to getting in and kind of
Right. You were
planned
ready.
out, yeah, planned out the steps a little bit, shit
Right.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you don't really think about it. I
No,
wonder,
man. What was that?
no, I was just thinking that's actually a good point. You would think that kids that go to college are probably the same way. They get there and go, "Wait, mom's not here to do my laundry."
Yeah. The
So
only
go ahead.
the only difference is not there's not an expectation, you know? Like in the
Right.
military, once you sign on, you're in the fucking military and people can hit you with that. Like you do some dumb shit, people are gonna be like, you're in the fucking United States Navy, whatever. So there is no adaptation, there's no hopefully there's some grace, but you never know who your leaders are, so oftentimes there's not much grace, man. You're a fucking adult. You should know how to do all
Right.
adult things and that's how it's handled. So it can be a shock to a lot of people.
So is boot camp like you think, like we think? You hope that I would hope it would be hard at least.
Dude, honestly, boot camp was way different than I thought it was going to be because we all think of like Full Metal Jacket and shit like that, you
Or
know?
I would at least
Like,
hope at least hard to someone who doesn't do shit at least.
so Navy boot camp is different in the sense that we're not the Army and the Marines, dude. They don't, they want you to be in physical standards. We don't need to be war machines. What they're doing is they're fucking your mind the entire time. Like, dude, you're getting so much information jam packed in you because like all we are operators of the Navy's equipment, dude. Like we're sailors, yeah, and like I truly believe that our sailors are what make our Navy better. But the reason why we're able to employ our better sailors so much better is because we have even better fucking warfighting equipment. And that's really the role of the sailors to operate that warfighting equipment. We're not putting
Ah,
down tactics and combing jungles and shit. So day one of boot camp, you get in, obviously they fucking bust you down and shit. Shave the head, all that bullshit, do
yeah, yeah, yeah.
all your end doc. And I will say the one thing that is similar to like the other branches military is like you do get beat, like if y'all fuck up, they're dropping you on your face and stuff. But after that, it's kind of just like going to a school where they're trying to teach you like a year's worth of shit in like 2 months. So the typical routine is like you'd wake up, we'd actually stagger our wake ups because you have to be shaven and shit before the RDCs get in. But there's like a rule that you can only have like 3 people out of their beds at a time, basically to stop people from fighting. They're doing crazy shit. So you'd like stagger wake ups. So you'd either get woken up real close to 5 or at like 3 in the morning. Uh, do all that shit, sit there or whatever. Wake up, get inspected, start fucking going to chow. And then after that, you're either doing like classes or like trainers. So they'd like, put you in a trainer where they're like teaching you how to like tie mooring lines, or they're teaching you how to fucking fight fires or escape from a boat that sunk, or like
Okay.
survive in the water, shit like that. So it's a lot of that. And then there's time sprinkled throughout the day where it's like, oh, we're gonna practice drill and marching, or oh, we're gonna fucking practice cadences, or we have an inspection coming up. Here's how to like fold all of the shit in your rack properly, and how to fold your bed and shit like that. So it's like it's very rigid in that sense, but where Marine Corps boot camp and Army boot camp are very physically taxing, Navy boot camp is extremely
Mentally.
mentally taxing. Yeah, like dude, you get the best sleep
Actually
of your fucking
tested on
life.
the shit.
Pardon me?
But you get tested on it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's tests. So
Oh,
and they actually just changed it. So now there's like some benefit to it too. Like back in the day, if you failed tests, you just got AS mode, which is like kicked backwards in training 2 weeks, which was not good because that means like whenever you get to your next division, like they know that you are basically like a dropout and they're about to
yeah.
fuck on you hard. Uh,
Yeah. Stupid
so
ass.
yeah, yeah, and they're about to beat the shit out of you, boy. You're about to do more
Right.
push-ups than anyone's done in their
Right.
fucking life.
Right. Right.
But so there's still that negative effect in today's boot camp, but now there's some positive aspects to the test as well. So like there's a test 3 weeks in, which is on like really basic shit to be honest. It's like fucking identifying ranks and like ranks and titles from someone's uniform, fucking standard shit
Right.
like that. But if you pass that test and your first physical test, which all happens on week 3, you immediately get $15,000 now. Yeah.
Damn.
Uh,
What is an octagon red sign? Stop. Okay.
Yeah,
Good for you.
basically. It's funny because being in the Navy seven years, you can look at someone from a mile away and be like, "Oh, good morning, sir. This is your rank," and all that bullshit. But like then you're just like,
Some
I can't
people.
remember what 2 stripes
Right.
are."
Right. Right. Right.
Just sitting there
Yeah.
beating yourself
That's
up
good.
over it. But yeah, and
I'm
then there's
sure it
also
is funny. I'm sure it is
that's
funny
super
seeing
funny.
the new people, man. You know what I mean? The act like the 18-year-olds, dude. It's got to
Well,
be like, man, look at
the
you.
thing the thing is the new fucking people are way more informed coming in, dude. It's scary.
Really?
Yeah, so one of my best friends from my boat, he's recruiting right now down in Texas, and I was asking him, I was the same thing. I was like, I bet it's a struggle dealing with fucking all these kids that don't know anything about the Navy, blah 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 blah. He's like, dude, they come in knowing fucking as much as we do. Like, I'll try to tell them everything, and they're like, oh, that's not what I read. I read like X, Y, and Z, and if I do like this, like here's my 20-year career plan in the Navy, like from this instruction. And it says like if I have all these done at this point, then I'm good to go. And he's like, "What the fuck, bro? I know like people in the fleet that don't know that shit." So they're
Whoa.
coming in informed. Yeah, they're coming in informed, and they know it.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Well,
scary. It's scary. The internet, man, as social media and the internet's getting bigger and bigger, fucking people are
yeah, I don't know
they
if
have
that's
the
good or
opportunity.
bad.
Yeah, yeah, I certainly think it's good. I think you should be informed on what you're getting into.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, as long as you still know that you have to learn what you're getting into once you
Yeah, and
yeah.
that's why I said it's scary because people come in and they're like, I know my shit, but then
Yeah,
they
you
get to the
don't
boat and you're
that's what I'm saying.
exactly.
Is yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you
All
could
right, buddy.
yeah. Yeah, you could be familiar, but you don't know shit till you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
I
Don't
mean,
be touching shit, motherfucker. You just seen a video, right?
yeah. I mean, hell,
That's good.
that's a like something I just had to get over like maybe 2 years ago. Is like I ended up succeeding on my boat and I was doing pretty well, which obviously boosts your head a little bit, and then you start to know and like I got put in check a lot where motherfuckers like, bro, you know a lot for someone in your position, but you don't know a lot for someone in my position, so get the fuck back because you still don't know shit compared to me. So I had to get put in check, and I think the younger generation's learning it a lot earlier now than like I had to learn that lesson because they come in thinking they know so much now, where we came in
And
not
it's
knowing a
like,
goddamn thing.
right, right, right. And you're
So,
like, yeah, you guys, you do know a lot, but you don't know everything. Right,
yeah,
right,
so
right.
but they're learning that lesson at like a year in now, which is
Yeah,
good. It's pretty hard on an adult whenever you've
yeah,
been succeeding for fucking 5 years and
yeah,
someone
yeah,
basically hits you with a you ain't shit.
yeah,
But as an
yeah.
18-year-old, you kind of know you ain't shit already.
Right. Well, and yeah, obviously, it's great to have young people know a bunch of shit. Obvious. That's the goal.
Yeah,
To have the younger, more brilliant young people, the better. That's
yeah,
the goal. I
it
mean,
yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy, man. Especially with like the Navy and the armed forces in
I mean,
general are
yeah,
switching to a
50
lot of
years
like
ago, you had to be 45 to fucking be smart.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
And
yeah,
I think that's a great point too. Like really the only disparity is because they all have access to the same knowledge now. So
yes.
they can shorten that knowledge gap real quick. The main
Oh, yeah.
disparity is just the wisdom gap and the experience.
Yeah.
Like that's the main disparity in the armed forces right now, I think. But you
Yeah.
can't do anything to gain that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Information is, yeah. Experience. Yeah. You can't do that, but information is key, dude.
It is. It's insane.
Yeah. Especially there's so many people that take the time to share experience, which is so weird to me, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
especially, I mean, I know it's even worse in your guys' generation, but like coming up for me, like it was like, no, I gained this experience. You go gain your experience. But now
Yeah.
people are like, hey man, I just did this thing last week. I see you're doing it next week. Well, here's everything I fucking failed at. So like, you should learn from that, dude. And like,
It
they
is
all
just
help each other.
insane. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. It is. It's cool. I mean, it's, yeah.
Yeah,
Anything I look at it, and I've talked about it to so many people to go, if you're trying to do something and you're not succeeding, it's because you're not putting in the effort. Because I can look up, I can figure out how to do any fucking thing I want. Anything, if I'm interested in it, I can figure that shit out. And
yeah,
that's
true.
insane. I mean, you know what I mean? If I'm actually passionate about something, I can get a shit ton of information without taking a class.
Yeah,
I
internet's
mean,
fucking crazy now, man.
it is crazy, dude. When I was a kid, like we were the family with encyclopedias, bro. That was it. That's all you had. And if it happened since then, you're fucked.
When I was,
Go to the library, bro.
little side story to that. When I was back in my back on my boat back in Washington, I did the classic fucking young guy in the Navy, the Mustang. I love that car to death still, but I digress. I had gotten, I was like, all right, it's time to mod this thing out, but I don't got the money to pay for people to mod it. Dude, I just hopped on YouTube. I fucking tore that whole engine apart. I replaced the camshaft myself. Like, I believe truly what you said. You can really do anything in the world besides like maybe astrophysics if with fucking YouTube and Google. Got a PhD in YouTube.
Hell yeah, you can. You're like, this dude tore that motor apart. It was a 1 hour and 20-minute video. I got an hour and 20 minutes.
Hell yeah. I might fuck up a step or two. I ain't got IKEA instructions, but we'll get there.
Right. I got a half-inch socket.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So yeah, what's a little bit of like your story?
So yeah, I have a lightning protection installation company, which it's a union company. We install lightning protection on a lot of buildings over the University of Illinois, a lot of the buildings in Springfield, the state buildings, military buildings. Yep, anything around here that's fucking government or educational or any of that shit. And then, yeah, I started a drone company in 2022, and we do like wind turbine blades, solar fields, telecom tower inspections, T&D assets, shit like that. We also do real estate, fucking pictures and stuff like that. And then,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. That's cool. And then, yeah, I kicked this shit off here a few months ago. So I have a office building that I run both companies out of, and I have a spare office. So I just built the podcast studio, and yeah, was like, let's fucking do this. And I got pretty good feedback, and so I just started. Yeah, and now it's an actual studio where I got lighting and cameras and everything. So. And yeah, so it's been fun. And I actually, yeah, I was asking, I originally was like, man, I wonder if, whenever your mom was gone, wherever she was at in Florida, I was like, man, I wonder if her son would want to do this or not, man. Cause I'm like, he's definitely someone from here that has an interesting career right now. And then, yeah, she came back and asked, she's like, oh, he would do it. I was like, well, maybe see if he even knows what the hell this is. And and she never really said. So, yeah. But no, dude. Yeah, linking up on the time was going to be the question. I'm like, I have no idea what the difference in time is. I just knew that it was a different time in the world. Are you allowed to say what your next stop is, or is that wherever you're going is where you're gonna? I mean, when you leave where you're at, you're packing your bags up, or I'm assuming it's not a U-Haul trailer.
No, so I'm actually
That'd be
going
on
to
a ship.
continue. Yeah, I'm going to continue to live overseas. So we're moving to Guam. So it's
Man, more beautiful stuff though, dude.
yeah, Guam's small though, but it'll be good. But yeah, I'm getting attached to a submarine out in Guam. I'm actually getting billeted there as the assistant navigator. So our career path as Navy-Ts, there's kind of like three specializations that you end up like weaseling your way into. So on SSBNs we have the strategic navigation side. So that's like we have a room full of a bunch of cabinets that help support missile launch, basically. So people kind of get specialized into the strat side. Obviously, we have the like electronic side where you get really, really good at like maintenance and working on circuitry and interior communications and shit like that. But then you have the navigation side, and that's the side that I've specialized in. So much so that I qualified assistant navigator, which is an advisor to the commanding officer on like basically all things navigation. So there's only one of them on board
Guam's
every
out in the
submarine.
middle of nowhere, huh?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking out there.
What the
Super
fuck?
far. Yeah, it's like a fucking 18-hour flight from the States.
But there's nothing around it at all.
Nope. The Marianas Trench is to the
What
east.
the
That's
fuck?
it. Yeah, bro, I'm out there.
Yeah. I'm like, did I type? There's not a misspelling you could even have with this. It's beautiful, but it
Yeah,
seems like
nice.
a little wave will make that fucking thing disappear forever.
Yeah, dude, they get fucking ravaged by like a typhoon every other year. Fucks the whole island.
Oh man, bro.
Yeah, I'm out there.
I mean, I mean, it's an island, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, though, on Google Earth, it looks like yeah.
Yeah, man, a little speck. I think it's like 18 miles wide and 36 miles high, like long. So it's like it's not big, super small. Like you can drive around the island like the entire circumference in like 2 hours.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah,
it's the same size as your submarine.
Basically. But from a career perspective, though, especially being in like the operations field that I'm in now,
Is there a base there?
Yeah, man. We have like 3 bases in Guam. We have like a fucking the Navy base. I think there's 2 Navy bases. I don't know. I've never been to Guam, but then there's also an Air Force base. It's a U.S. territory now, so like it has 100,000 occupants, but like 30,000 of them are service members.
Oh,
all it's basically a military island. Yeah, basically a military island, with the exception of the like locals, like the Chamorans. That's what they're originally. Chamorran
you fuckers cook us some food, bro.
Yeah, bro, they're tight with
just
it.
People making the locals are just making food for the military, bro.
Yeah, man. Like their economy, like fucking depends on us.
Hell yeah!
If we pulled our Guam military base away, it'd be fucked. The reason we even have Guam is because we stole it in the Spanish-American War back in like fucking.
I only even know what it is. Is that recently something I was watching had like a photo shoot or something that was Guam, and I was like, damn, that's beautiful. But yeah, of course it was for a fucking postcard shot, but still, it was beautiful.
But yeah. So that's where we'll be for the next 3 years or so.
Oh yeah,
so
it is. Micronesia in the West.
Pacific. It's part of the Marianas Island chain.
Territory. So
Saipan is actually like I think only maybe 100 miles north of it. A lot of people like do little weekend trips to Saipan just north of it.
Well, you're about to see what's to it, huh?
Yeah,
in about 2.5 weeks.
I'm gonna be underwater a lot. Well, so
Oh
I
yeah.
actually go to school. I actually go to school first. So we have to go to a specialty school to be an ANAV. It's a month-long school. So I'm gonna leave here and go to school in Hawaii for about a month, and then I'll fly back to Japan for like 5 days, grab my wife and my cats, and hop on a plane and go to Guam.
All right. Oh, you got cats, no kids yet, right?
No kids, no kids. We both,
All right.
we're both pretty young still, and we wanted to be able
Yeah.
to enjoy
Oh,
Japan and
ki-
all that shit. So
for sure. Kittens, no kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
That's
Which
cool.
guess I took half of that from my mom. She's a cat lady.
For sure. Oh, that's great. Well, hey, dude,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not going to keep you any longer. I really appreciate you jumping on. I might actually ask you to do it again after you settle down over at your next spot in Guam, after you get off your next little tour and all that. Just check in again with you for a bit after you. I might have you do it outside with a beautiful backdrop or something next time.
Hell yeah, for
We'll
sure.
see.
You have a Facebook, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Add me on Facebook. It's a little easier to find me there than it is on my email. I get so
All
many
right.
emails
I will.
every
I
day.
will.
So
I'll make sure I do, man. Uh, but yeah, hey, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you taking the time to join. And yeah, everyone will definitely get a kick out of you just coming and being on the show, dude.
for
It was a
sure,
pleasure to
appreciate you
meet you,
having me.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice
All right.
meeting you,
Well,
Ken.
hey, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gonna go home and go to bed, man. It's past my
Yeah.
bedtime. Hey,
Yeah.
pleasure, man. Cheers to you, man. Hey, thank you for your service, brother. Be safe.
Yeah, appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right, man. I want to take a moment to highlight our incredible season 3 sponsor, View It Commercial Real Estate. If you're in the market for commercial properties in Central Illinois, look no further than View It Commercial Real Estate. With a dedicated team led by Tim Viewig and Cole Babcock, they bring unparalleled expertise and a deep understanding of the local market to meet your commercial real estate needs. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest, Tim and Cole are committed to providing personalized service and guidance every step of the way. Their passion for helping clients navigate the complexities of commercial real estate sets them apart in the industry. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level or find that perfect commercial space, reach out to View It Commercial Real Estate. You can find them on all social media platforms at viewitrealestate.com, or you can reach out by telephone at 217-450-8500. Trust me, you'll be in great hands. Thank you to Tim and Cole for your unwavering support of the show. Hey, everyone, if you're in the market for custom apparel, stop ordering from Custom Ink and listen to this. Look no further than Oakwood Screen Printing. This apparel company specializes in all things apparel, offering high-quality designs on everything from t-shirts to hoodies to hats to joggers to jackets to towels to bags to wall art to mugs to tumblers to stickers, you name it. Whether you're promoting your business, celebrating a special event, or just want to express your unique style, Oakwood Screen Printing has you covered. What sets them apart is their attention to detail and commitment to customer satisfaction. And here's the deal. If you use promo code BB217, BB for Beyond Business 217 at checkout or in store, you'll get an additional 15% off your order. That's right. So no matter where you're at in the world, you get online, you decide what you want, and you can order anything, any quality, any shape, any size, literally. And they'll ship it to you. 15% off. Competitive pricing with any other thing you could find. So let's go. Get online, oakwoodscreenprint.com. Get your 15% off. Use code BB217. If you want to make a statement with your apparel, reach out today. You won't be disappointed. If you're looking to refresh your space or tackle that long-awaited project, clean cut Painting and Handyman specializes in a wide range of services, from stunning interior and exterior painting to small construction projects, room remodels, deck staining and flooring, to anything else that you could possibly imagine, whether it's something that you've just put off or just are not capable of doing. They truly have the expertise to transform your home into a beautiful sanctuary you've always dreamed of, or just take care of the eyesores that are in your eye line all the time. And guess what? They have some fantastic promotions running this March. If you book any interior painting project for March or April dates, you'll receive an incredible 15% off. It's a perfect time to give your home a fresh look just in time for spring. If you're thinking of sprucing up the outside of your home, they've got you covered there too. You can enjoy 10% off exterior painting projects under $5,000. If you're thinking that your project's going to be a little bit higher than that, then get ready for this. If you got a project that's over $5,000, they'll knock $1,000 off of it. So let's go. Get that schedule. Hit them up. Whether you're looking to enhance your home's curb appeal or make your interior pop, Clean Cut Painting and Handyman has you covered. Visit their website or give them a call today and take advantage of these amazing offers. And remember, when you choose Clean Cut, you're not just getting a great service, you're supporting a company that empowers women in the industry. Here we go.
Vibes and laughs, we're fully prepared. Brought to you by Buick Real Estate. Let's dive deep. It's gonna be great. So grab a seat. Don't miss the ride. Beyond Business with Nick, let's take it in stride. Join the conversation, let's make it last. With stories and insights, we're having